Hello guys, what's up? How's everybody doing? I got a haircut. Yeah. So the last time I was posting videos, I was on the video a day for 30 days thing, and I didn't make it to 30 days. I made it to like 23, and then I got tired of doing it. I got tired of making a video every day, and I got tired of trying to promote them, and I got tired of trying to promote me, so I stopped. I'm on my way back to San Francisco to make some more dollars, and hey, I've got that system down pretty well now. The money is good. It's very well worth it if you can adapt to a little bit of change. The money is very well worth it, especially right now. You can average $35 to $40 an hour, work as many hours as you want. Last week I worked about 60 hours. I took home $2,200, and that comes out to roughly $36 an hour, which is great. It's phenomenal. That's hard to get. This is unskilled labor. You know? You sit in your car, you drive around drunk people. Not very many drunk people actually. Just drive around average Joes. Very few of them are confrontational or belligerent or obnoxious. I would say 99% of my passengers are just nice people, you know? It's not an issue. So once you can get past the initial hump of getting used to having all kinds of strangers in your car, getting used to being in a sort of an unfamiliar place, well, it becomes familiar anyway, so if you can just get past the initial discomfort, it's well worth it. And Uber, like I said before, is throwing around money. Their referral bonus is up to, they tiered it now, so it's like the first one you get $1,000, then you get $1,200. It's up to like $1,400 for a referral if you get somebody to sign up with your code and they complete 100 rides within something like a month. It's very doable. I haven't really pursued it, although I've considered putting together a website and working on my SEO skills, of which I have none right now, but I would like to. I don't know. Every time I get into another thing, then inevitably I get tired of it after a while and just drop it. So I don't want to get into another thing. This thing would be, oh, let's make a website and get tons of people to sign up with my code and make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe not hundreds, make a couple $1,000. It would be good, it would be nice. I might do it, I have no idea. But even without trying to sign people up, the money is good. It's very good. Yeah, so it's nice to not be worrying about money right now. It's nice to be able to pay the rent on time. It's nice to be able to have some in savings. It's nice to be able to be relieved from the anxiety of worrying about your bank account. That's just not fun. And my usual reaction when I have no money in the bank is to get upset about the institutions and get upset about money in the first place and why we need to worry about it. But that's really a immature way to deal with it. The mature way to deal with it is to realize that money has been around forever. As long as humans have had the capacity to think in the way that they do, money has been around, and it's the most commonly accepted form of exchange. And if we weren't using money, then we'd have to be bartering, you know? We're not animals. We are animals, but we're higher level animals. And we have higher level needs, you know? We need Netflix. We need our airplanes. We need to be able to go here and there and everywhere. We need all these things, apparently. So, I hope you can hear me, because the last video I made of me driving, it was the wind, the extra noise seemed to overpower my voice sometimes, so I felt like I needed to talk really loud to be able to be heard. So hopefully that doesn't happen in this video, but it's okay if it does. It doesn't really matter. I'm not doing any special thing with this. I'm not going to try to promote it. I'm not going to try to get a bunch of people to watch the video. I don't know. But I do like expressing myself to a sort of a unknown audience. It's like a journal, you know. It's like, it's a vlog, right? If you don't feel like writing all your ramblings down, then speak them all out, right? What else have I been thinking about lately? Well, I'm still in AA, and AA has been very beneficial to me. I'm what's called a retread. So I first went to AA and I stayed for about 3 months, and then I dropped out. And I stayed sober for like 6 months altogether. But I started drinking again and started getting into trouble again. Kept having no money, being a selfish ass, all those things that go along with the alcoholic mindset. So I went back and kind of sticking with it this time. Doing the whole sponsor thing, meeting with the sponsor, going to a meeting or two a week, going through the steps. If I stay in it, eventually I'll get sponsees of my own and I'll be working with people in a one-on-one way, which is how I like to interact with people. Anyway, I've never been a huge fan of the group setting, but I'm getting better at it, or rather more comfortable. It doesn't make me uncomfortable now to sit in a large group and even to speak in a large group. And a lot of that has to do with not having the competitive need to stand out or to be special. The way I grew up as a child, and the mindset I've always had has been a very competitive mindset. And it's not the most healthy of mindsets. And it doesn't contribute to overall well-being. You don't have a lot of peace in your mind if you're constantly trying to compete. Competition, I think, is good. It's fun if you treat it as a game. If you treat it as seriousness, and this is, I need to beat this person, I need to prove myself, I don't think it's that great. For instance, I love chess. Chess. Play chess all the time. And when I watch the guys at the highest level, GMs at the highest level, they're, for the most part, very humble. And they don't even like to, kind of brag, you know, if they had even if they had an amazing game, you know, they're still humble about it. So they're competitive. They're very good at it. They're very good at beating people. They're very good at all of the numerous nuances of chess. Very good at all the levels of the game, but they're not competitive in the way of like how Bobby Fischer was, and that he just won. For him, the idea of chess was to completely control and dominate and subdue your opponent's will in their mind. Just utter destruction, and that's what he did. But if you look at his life, you see that he wasn't at peace mentally. You know, his brain kind of led him down wacky roads, and you know, he was really schizophrenic near the end of his life. And I don't know, it's not necessarily great. If you want to be the best at what you're doing, and that's your one and only goal, and you're really with that, then maybe fine. You know, you're kind of sacrificing having a peaceful life, just the ability to be mentally still. You're sacrificing that for that kick, that competitive kick, that, you know, that just drive to subdue another person, to break another person's will. Like when I'm playing a game, if I'm focusing on trying to break the other person, the game will come out differently. It will look differently than if I look at each position that arises and I just treat that as a piece of a puzzle that I have to solve. I have to find the best move. And I don't treat the game as if I'm playing a person. I treat the game as if I'm playing the position. I make less mistakes that way, and overall the game is more, it's prettier when you're looking back on it, when you're analyzing the game. And that's, of course, personal preference. If you want to be a dominator, or if you are a dominator by nature, then that's just what you're going to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Just for me, I find it, life itself is a little bit better if I'm not always trying to compete mentally with everybody, and inevitably I end up competing mentally with myself. And of course, you can't beat yourself. You know, you're always going to lose. You're always going to win, but you're always going to lose as well, and you're going to become bipolar and schizophrenic, and I've been there. It's just not great, you know? So, 12 minutes. Yeah. Has anything else been on my mind recently? I just ordered my boosted board that I worked really hard last week to be able to afford. I set out with the goal of making the required $1,600 to get it, and making a little bit more for us to survive on, to live on during the week. And I did. So I went 6 days, like I said earlier in the video, 6 days, almost 60 hours, $2,200. So I can buy the board and I have a little bit left over. So yeah. Another thing that being sober is currently allowing me to do is I'm able to be interested in things again. Like just that thing of finding a toy or finding something that looks really fun and figuring out how you're going to get it, and then just doing it and being excited about it. And I know I'm going to love this thing. I mean, I'll probably post a video of me riding it. I might have to get one of those iPod sticks. I forgot what they're called, but where your phone sits on the end of the stick. Make some videos with that, maybe. This board is crazy. It's a Longboard. It has 2 electric motors, 1 per truck. Top speed of 22 miles an hour. You hold a remote in your hand and control it, and it has regenerative brakes that they regenerate your battery as you're braking. So if you let off the accelerator, you're automatically braking. The only downside to this is that once the battery is fully charged, then your brakes don't work anymore. So if you're going down a steep hill and you hit that point where your battery is charged, then no more brakes, right? The guy that showed me the board in the first place, he owns a kite shop slash skate slash hobby shop sort of thing. It's like City Kites or something in San Francisco. Anyway, he let me drive his board. That's how I decided I wanted to get one. He was telling me that he had some falls because of that. He hadn't quite mastered figuring out when the brakes were going to go out, so he had to bail out a couple times. But there is a warning. There's like some sort of a warning sound that will happen if your brakes are close, if your battery is close to being charged. So you just have to kind of be paying attention and be mindful of how much battery life you have, all that stuff. So it goes 7 miles roughly per charge, so you can drive out, you can ride out, 5 to 6 miles probably safely. If the place you're going to has a charging outlet, charge it, hang out, do whatever, and come all the way back. So you can have like 10, 12, 13 miles for a round trip. Or even more than that. I mean, you could just schedule stops every 5 or 6 miles and you could go indefinitely. So yeah, I think it'll be really fun and I'm excited to get it. And that's that. I think I'm going to probably cut this off now because we're at 16 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to title it. Just vlog number 1 maybe. I'm not going at this particular video with a thing that I'm trying to get. I'm not going to promote it. Just going to stick it out there. And whatever. So anyway, that's that. I hope everybody's doing well and take care. And I will see you at some point. Don't know when. Take care. Bye-bye.